Greetings and welcome to Think and Be Well's Thoughtful Thursdays. I'm Raisa Nazaire, and I'm coming to you with inspiring thoughts for you to hold in your mind that empower and enhance your mental, physical, and emotional well being. So every Thursday, we pick one statement to hold in our minds. It's called Hold That Thought. And this week, that statement is wholeness is not found in perfection, but in embracing every fragment of yourself with love. Because wholeness is not just what is good and light and airy. Wholeness is not about being flawless and perfect. It's about embracing a state of every part of yourself. It's about the lights, the shadows, the strengths, the weaknesses, and it's about being complete. It's about aligning your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual so that you are complete. And that completeness leads to resilience, clarity, and growth. And it's in wholeness that we have the power to be the creative beings that we truly are. But just imagine yourself as a mosaic, and each piece of you, each colorful piece, whether it's bright or it's muted, whether it's smooth or it's rough, it all has meaning and purpose. And when we reject any piece of that, then we're denying our full beauty and we're basically denying our humanity. So every experience that we have contributes to that unique masterpiece, that colorful masterpiece of who we are. So there's some basic keys to wholeness, and we'll talk about the three main ones. Acknowledging our shadow self, being able to practice self-compassion, and to celebrate growth. So when we're acknowledging our shadow, it's reflecting on all the parts of ourselves that we would want to avoid, criticize, or make bad, and then ask, what's the lesson or strengths that we have in that? For example, I feel everything deeply. And so the downside of that is that I can internalize all of that feeling. And the strength in that is actually that I am able to pick up on what's going on in the room. So I have to acknowledge both sides of that and then integrate it into its wholeness and the benefit that can come from that. And then, secondly, when we practice self compassion, we're speaking to ourselves with kindness. And it's the same kind of way that we would speak to a dear friend. We know that that voice in our head is often telling us that we're wrong, that we're not doing things right. Yet there's another voice that we can cultivate that says, yes, you're doing the best that you can, and that you are growing and evolving. And everything that occurs in our lives is all part of that growth and evolution. And then, thirdly, we want to celebrate that growth, right? We want to honor our journey, not just where we think we should be, the destination. We're honoring the fact that we are on the journey and engaged and present in the journey, and recognize that even our challenges have shaped us into who we are today. And a practice that will help us to evolve into wholeness is one that's going to have us really focus inwardly. And it's 5 steps to this practice. It's something that I would like you to just try for the next week and dedicate maybe 15 minutes each day and see how you will begin to embrace that wholeness process even more and integrate all of the parts of yourself together. So the first step in the process is to get centered and do some conscious breathing. And so we want to take about 5 to 10 minutes each and every day to do that conscious breathing. And often I talk about the 4-4-6 breath. So breathe in to the count of four, hold it for the count of four, and then breathe out to the count of six. And you can increase those numbers. Just remember that the exhale should be longer than the inhale so that you are kicking in your parasympathetic nervous system and going into rest and restore. And then as a next step, you want to reflect on your inner world. And this is just taking time to either journal or meditate about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, the things that you're doing, and how you interpret those experiences, what your perspective is. And then thirdly, you can engage in mindful movement, something that feels good and nourishing that you feel flows with you. And that could be yoga, that could be walking in nature, it could be gentle stretching, anything that really feels good to you. And then fourthly, the practice of gratitude and affirmation. Gratitude makes things appreciate, it makes things grow. The more that you express gratitude for something, you're drawing more of that energy to you. Being in the energy of gratitude helps you grow and expand. So each evening, you could potentially write down 3 things that you're grateful for and an affirmation. For example, the affirmation could be, I am resilient and I trust my growth process. You would say that a few times or even write it as a header on your journal, maybe write it out 3 times so that you're really resonating with the energy of your affirmation. And then lastly, you want to set an intention for the following week so that you're moving that energy into your next week. On the last day of the week, just do some reflection about what you've learned, what you've incorporated, what you've taken in for yourself for the week and how you've grown, and then set 1 or 2 intentions for the week ahead. And again, simple intentions. It could be something as simple as, I will listen more deeply to my needs. I'm going to tap into myself more, or I will dedicate time to rest and recharge. These are all ways that you can bring more wholeness into your life. Just simple, actionable, and aligned to your values. These are steps that work for you specifically, and you'll know that by taking the time for practice. So, as a takeaway thought, ask yourself, what part of me can I embrace today? And just know that wholeness is never a final achievement. It's a daily practice of love, of acceptance, and integration. And the more that you embrace yourself, the more peace and clarity you'll find in your life. So, what part of you can you embrace today? If you want more on emotional vocabulary, get my book, Everyday Emotional Vocabulary. Today's emotional vocabulary word was wholeness, and we did some diving into that. If you want more, you can also check out my social media pages. If you like what you heard today, please like, share, and follow. I'm on social media at ThinkBeWellNow. And you can also check out my website, raisatheauthor.com. I'm currently working on getting Raisa Nazaire back up and running. So we'll have more information there. But the services page on Raisa, the author, has my books. It's got the journals that I've created for you to help you get to emotional balance. I also speak, so you can book me there for speaking engagements, and also available for one-on-one coaching, and you can book that service there as well. So thank you for joining today. I hope you'll join us again for Thoughtful Thursdays at 3, and I look forward to connecting with you.